On 101.9 High FM, 16 minutes to 11 o'clock. Fabulous Friday it is. And you're with Niki Seberini. So it is time for our High Comedy Quickie. And we have a real treat for you today, because we're going to be looking at a movie that I went to see just the other night. And Tat Wolfen, our movie reviewer, spoke about it very briefly yesterday. And he said, I'm not going to talk about it now because it's only going to be released next week. So I'm going to review it next week, but I've got to just say one thing. What a great story, what fantastic performances. And for Tat to rave about a movie, he raved. So he'll be reviewing it. So it's so wonderful to be able to welcome two of the cast members into the studio today. And you may be wondering, well, you know, comedy quickie and cast member of the movie, the material movie. Believe it or not, you know, Riaad Moosa, the man, the comedian, the one who keeps us laughing, can act too. And surprisingly well. So I'd like to welcome you, Riaad, to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
And I'd like to also welcome your co-star, Vincent Ebrahim, who we know very fondly from the Kumars at number 42. And you know that the whole way through the movie, Vincent, I was like, where have I seen this man before?
Keep wondering.
You know, and normally I'm so good, but your acting was so superb that there's no way I could have made that connection.
Thank you.
There is absolutely no way.
That's the best news you can hear, do you know what I mean? Because you seek and strive always to transform. That's certainly what's in my bag of tools, is to be able to transform a character and create a new one.
Boy, did you transform the character.
Thank you.
So, you know, Riaad, we spoke months ago. We spoke last year. It was a telephonic interview.
Yeah.
And you were busy filming the movie.
Oh, was it during the filming of the movie?
It was during the filming of the movie.
Oh, my
goodness. And I guess, you know, what's it like and being cast and being a comedian. And I remember thinking and wondering to myself what the movie would be like. You are a comedian.
Yes.
You know, that's how we see you. Besides the fact that you're a doctor, and we spoke about it.
Yes,
and we're going to go there.
All the Jewish mothers are very happy about that. How could he leave medicine to do stand-up comedy? I haven't left medicine to do stand-up comedy. I've just put it on hold for a while. So it's all good, and people
are your patients waiting for you?
I think they're waiting patiently as
I don't know
if the puns are coming out the cast.
But the reason people ask me why I give up the medicine, I haven't given it up. But I mean, also it's cool. I don't really get applause with the medicine.
No,
you know,
don't.
I've never really got. That was an amazing prostate exam, doctor. Please. Do you have DVDs of your prostate exams? I don't really get that. So.
And you work well with applause. And the recognition. Nice. I'm with you. Stay with comedy. They'll never be able to look at you in the same way again, though. You may have to change colour hair or.
No, I would like to do medicine because I have obviously trained as a doctor, and I never planned to do what I'm doing. But I do love comedy. But I feel the need that, you know, at some point I need to negotiate how I'm going to do both, and that's going to happen. So it's my intention. Starts with
one
intention.
Day,
it's gonna, and now the universe will take me there.
The universe is listening.
Yeah.
When we spoke last year, you spoke about the fact that you were a doctor and the parents, and you told us about the story of how you found comedy and you were training to be a doctor at the same time. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. You know, we've interviewed, we've had fantastic comedians, we've had fantastic actors in the studio, because of course to choose that career, it can be an uncertain career. And where do you get the courage? And so often with comedy, they supplement it. They have another career and then they do the comedy. And so when I watched the movie, the material movie, I was overwhelmed by this feeling that there was a certain amount of your own story being told. Is that true?
To a certain extent, it was when Rani, because the original idea was was supposed to be based on my being a doctor Muslim comedian, because Rani Apteka, the show's the movie's executive producer, I met him doing stand-up comedy when I was doing my internship at Natalspruit Hospital. And he said, Riaad, it's an interesting story. It's a Muslim doctor comedian. We should develop a script. And I was like, what are you talking about, bro? I got board rounds tomorrow, you know? So I approach it like I do most things in life. Like if I don't have a moral opposition to it, like immediately I just go with it and see where the universe takes me. So I didn't say yes, I didn't say no. It just opened a door, and he got me into contact with Craig Frymont, and we started having conversations.
Because Craig's amazing.
He's amazing, and it took a period of 7 years to actually get the script right. Even like 6 years into the process, we still thought it wouldn't work, and then the opportunity came for Vincent to be part of the project. And in that process, it actually the script came together through having him there, and him asking Craig to develop his character.
So you were a part of that, Vincent?
Yeah.
Well, just toward the end. I mean, I met Craig in 2009, and having read the script, I of course had some suggestions. And you know, once you read a script, you kind of begin the process of investing in a character. And I felt that the character, the father, he needed to have stronger motivational roots in the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So, in discussion with Craig, it was very apparent that Craig was very open to these ideas. Which, you know, is the beginning of a creative relationship. And after about 3 or 4 months of emailing each other, and whenever he had an inspiration about where the scene could go, he would email me and I'd respond. And so, you know, the building bricks of the way the script finally evolved into its final form. Certainly, I had an involvement, but not as long as these guys who've been working on it for 6 or more years before.
But it wasn't working until he came.
Really?
And really, that's the point.
What
like,
did he bring to
Craig
it?
says that Vincent doesn't like hearing this. Actually, he does, but he says he doesn't. But at that point, we said if it wouldn't have gotten made. If Vincent wouldn't be part of it, it probably wouldn't have gotten made. And when Vincent got involved, just the process of developing the character of the father, actually just all the holes in the script sort of were filled, and everything came together. Craig was just so amazed, and because in terms of the structure and the dramatic arcs and the narrative and that final scene and all of these things, everything came together. It's all based on developing the character of Ebrahim.
Well, because I think the character, the relationship between the two is so pivotal to the narrative drive. So it's kind of from that fulcrum that, you know, other things can happen, that the comedic elements can be released. That it finds a balance between that and the drama of the piece, which is what makes the material such a unique.
And so many depths, so many layers to the characters and to the story.
Yes.
And, you know, when I first heard about the Material movie, I mean, when we spoke, and I was in contact with Ronnie Athienedes at the time, and I was like, oh, it looks like it's going to be so funny, and it looks like... And he said, it's actually, you'll be very surprised when you get to see the movie. And if people, you know, have an idea that it's a comedy movie, and it is one of those superb, beautiful stories. The narrative is exquisite. The acting is exquisite. And you go on a journey, and, you know, when I went on Wednesday night and I just watched everyone, because, you know, when you have a moment when you want to see how people are responding, and everyone is so involved, and you see people watching, men, and they get that little moisture in the corner of their eyes, and you just know that they've been taken. And even though that it is the story of this Muslim family, any family can relate to the story, the love within a family, the expectations that fathers have. You know,
universal.
It's universal. What a beautiful story, really. But Vincent, what I find so interesting, as I said, because I just could not in any way during the movie just connect you, you know, with your character at the Kumars at number 42, because we love that. And there your character is so different. And here, what a powerful character. What a deeply sensitive character.
Well, you know, the Kumars came about kind of by default, not by design. I never saw myself as a comedic actor.
Because you're a serious actor.
Dramatic, coming out of my ear all.
You know.
And the Kumars, when we were developing it, you know, I got the sense of fun. The Sanjeev, who plays my son in the Kumars, he had pinpointed, we'd done some workshops, and we were working on a particular piece. It was a Molière. It was a kind of satirical comedy written in the 16th century, which we transposed to an Indian situation, to an Indian, more modern version of it. And he already picked up that there was a look, comedy timing. Everybody says comedy timing is something you have to learn. Actually, it's an instinct as much as drama is. I'm sure Riaad will bear that out.
Definitely, timing is the most important thing.
And coming back to the fact that Riaad is a comedian makes the transition between his comic stand-up performances to a screen performance. I mean, those things all come into play. They need to be modulated, modified. You bring a whole raft of techniques to it, and to make that transition to the screen. I always had the feeling that it was not going to be a difficult thing for him.
How come it wasn't difficult, Riaad?
Nah,
because I watched you so closely. I really did. I wanted to see Riaad the comedian. And even meeting you today, I'm so surprised. Do you know what I'm saying? Because your portrayal of this character was superb. Your acting was superb.
Well, I think, first of all, I had a long involvement in the script. Although the movie and the narrative and the storyline is not specifically about my life, I'm from Cape Town, originally did medicine. This guy is from Fordsburg in Joburg, working in a fabric shop. A lot of the dramatic or the conflict that exists within me was dramatized in the movie in a sense of wanting to do stand-up comedy, but at the same time wanting to be an integral part of my community and be accepted and respected within those circles. So a lot of that was dramatized, and even some of the specific experiences that I have had in the past, we've changed it slightly within the narrative of this movie. So in that sense, I understood that conflict very well. Otherwise, I think having Vincent there as and also Denise Newman, who plays my mother, as strong, outstanding dramatic actors as well, being there as anchors, because then I wouldn't have to take it over entirely. Really assisted. Like, for example, there were a few things that Craig told me to help me with my acting, and he said one of the things is acting is reacting. Now, the reacting to the other person, and in one of the scenes where Vincent's character confronts me after seeing me in the comedy club, that is purely based on that. My performance is purely based on that, because Vincent's performance is so powerful. I don't know if you remember that scene.
Very, very.
So I just had to be there and basically try and immerse myself within that scene and within his performance, and my body would react.
Well, that actually is the scene that stands out for me. That particular scene.
So in that scene, and then there would be other things where Craig says you mustn't act, don't act. Because in stand-up, and if you're on stage, first of all, everything is exaggerated, because you have to project to people sitting in the back row, in the cheap seats. And